Hi there, my name is Guidry, and today I'm going to be talking all about how to manage the business finances for your wedding photography business. I know firsthand when I started my business way back in 2010, managing the business finances was something that was a drop in the bucket amongst all the other things that I had to learn about being a wedding photographer. But I'm here to tell you it is one of the most important things that you will need to know in order to survive and thrive in this industry. Speaking of finances, if you're someone who wants to learn about pricing your business, be sure to download the pricing guide in the description below. That will help you determine the base price for your business. It's a free guide, and I hope it will help you in that journey. So let's talk about the financial side of the business, something that often gets overlooked. At a base level, when you're running a business, you want to ensure that everything you do for the business in terms of expenses, deposits, all of those things is completely separate from your personal income and expenses. I remember whenever I first started my business, the accountant that I was working with asked me how I was going to keep track of my deposits. I didn't even know what the word deposit meant. I mean, that is truly how basic it was when I started my business years ago, but I'm here to tell you that I'm now running a multiple six-figure wedding photography business, and it can be done. When you are making those transactions, whether it's on credit cards, checks, Venmo, PayPal, just make sure that you have a system that can allow you to keep track of what is personal and what is business. So anytime, for example, that I am paying a subcontractor, someone who's a second photographer, someone who's working for the business, I am paying them with my business banking account. I'm not paying that with my personal checking account. That's two totally different things. In addition, I have a personal credit card and I have a business credit card. This makes it very easy for me and for my accountant at the end of the year when we're looking through the finances, how much the business has made, how much we have spent. It makes it very easy to understand if a transaction was a business transaction or a personal transaction. I can go through all of those expenses at the end of the year and I can categorize them very easily based on if it was office supplies or a subcontracted service or some sort of production and supplies cost to actually produce a product. These are all things that we are spending money on throughout the year. But it's really important to not mix them up. If you want to know what your business is making, it can make it kind of confusing. Maybe you're getting some expenses for grocery mixed in with expenses that you're gonna have at the same store. That can be really confusing. So the more you can separate the two, the more organized your business will be in regards to the financial side. I talked a little bit about this a minute ago, but when it comes to your banking, the first thing that you want to do before you even get into the actual expenses is make sure that you do set up a bank account. Go to the bank of your choice, ask them to help you set up a business banking account. That way you can have those two things separated. Let's talk a little bit about credit. When I was younger, I always saw credit as a bad thing, which it can be a bad thing if you're not paying your credit card and you're racking up credit card debt. That can be something that's very hard to get out of. But the way that we approach our credit cards in general is that whatever expenses that we put on our credit card, we're paying those off almost immediately, definitely by the end of the month, if not sooner. And that way we're not accruing all of that interest on those expenses. If we don't have the money for something for the business, then we're waiting to spend money on that. Credit cards are not intended to get you into trouble or get you into debt. If you have a credit card for your business, really think about how you're using it. But one really cool thing about having a credit card for your business is that when you are spending money, you can actually get money back into your own ultimate rewards point, for example, through Chase or whatever bank that you use. Oftentimes they'll give you reward points for using their credit cards. But you have to keep in mind that your goal is not to overspend and is not to get into a position where you owe them money, but rather spend what you have, pay it off, and then you can just utilize the points. In regards to reward points, we do use the Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which I absolutely love, because whether it's a business transaction or a personal transaction on our credit cards, we're able to actually combine the points and cash out or use the points for personal purchases or whatever we want. Because you are running a business, I would not necessarily suggest that you use the reward points for your business, because you want to, again, keep those business transactions coming from the business checking account or coming from your business debit card or credit card so that you can keep track. And also you can write off whatever expenses you're using for your business. One thing to keep in mind is that a write-off is more like a coupon. People often get write-offs confused because they think, oh, well, if I write this off, I don't have to pay for it. But that's really not the right frame of mind. When you're writing something off, you're still paying for it. But whatever you're spending on that, you are essentially reducing your taxable income by that amount if it's a business transaction. So you're still paying for it, but it's almost like having a coupon or something like that on your expense, where maybe whatever your tax bracket is, you get that amount off of the product. So that's a good way to kind of look at it in terms of write-offs and business expenses. I realize that a lot of what comes in when we think of running a business can be quite confusing. You know, maybe you're hearing your friends advise you on things. Maybe you're listening to other professionals advise you, but my suggestion would be to get professionals on your team. Have an accountant, have a lawyer, people that are experienced and trusted in this industry and in those industries to help you organize your business. Your business finances are how you make a living. This is the way that you turn this into an actual income providing job and not just a hobby. And so you really want to make sure that the things that you're doing are legal, that they're done well and they're done right, so that you can continue to sustain your business moving forward. I recently created the full-time wedding photography course because business side of photography is so much more than I could have imagined all those years ago. Honestly, there is no shooting in that course. There's no posing in that course. It's designed to help photographers understand the sort of things that we're talking about right now, the sort of things that really make or break businesses. So if you do go to our education shop, whether it's to check out our contracts or our email templates or our courses, whatever it may be, you'll see the full-time wedding photography course, which is designed to help photographers with their business. But going back to having those professionals in your court, it's so necessary because we are creatives at our core. We want to be taking pictures. We want to be working with our clients, and their jobs as accountants, as lawyers, as professionals in that space is to ensure that we are properly complying and doing things that we need to as a business. My business, for example, is an LLC. That was a decision that I made very long ago when I was setting up my business banking account. I needed to know what type of business I was going to run, and I didn't know anything about that. And so what did I do? I consulted with my accountant, I consulted with my attorney, and I said, look, what do I need to do to properly run this business? What would you suggest? And that's something that I would encourage you to do as well. Look into how you should set up your business. Do you want it to be a limited liability corporation, which is what our business is, for example? A lot of photography businesses are set up that way, but that's not the only way that you can set it up. Something else may be better suited for you. And lastly, when it comes to your personal and business finances, you want to ensure that whatever you do for your wedding photography business is agreed upon and discussed in writing in a contract. You want that contract to protect you and to protect the client in the case that XYZ arises. There are unforeseen circumstances. There's things that come up. I've been doing photography now for almost 15 years, and I'm here to tell you there are many things that came up that we never would have expected. Even in 2020, when the pandemic occurred, we had no idea that we would be dealing with what we did, both in our perspective and in the perspective of the clients. And that's why the contract is so important. As wedding photographers, we're here and we're doing this because we love taking photos. We love working with clients, serving them on their biggest day and capturing those beautiful moments. I truly believe this is something that I want to do as long as I possibly physically can. And in order to do that, I have to make money in the process. I have to be able to sustainably run the business, and so do you. Unless this is truly a hobby and passion project for you, I would imagine that you're trying to make a living doing this. And this is something that there is a lot of reward in emotionally, there's a lot of connection in, and because of that, you do have to get those business finances in order, get what's happening behind the scenes in line so that you can continue to run your business. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I appreciate it. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to subscribe. Don't forget to check out our free guides below. They're designed to help you in your business, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a great day. Bye.